Yeah, hello. So let's start with another tea talk. So my name is Lucas Fischer, and I'm the festival founder of Rethink Festival. And in this tea talk, I want to answer the question, why should I actually attend Rethink Festival? Because I have a little story about that. I think last week on LinkedIn, I was sharing some content about Rethink Festival. And then a friend of mine wrote me, well, I'm not a boss. I'm not an entrepreneur or something. I'm working in a team. So why should I attend Rethink Festival on the topic new ways of working? And the answer is obviously there is a misconception about all these new ways of working together. So no matter what, who you are and what role it is in your company, it's interesting to attend Rethink Festival, and I will explain exactly this during this talk. Well, first of all, a Rethink Festival is a 2-day festival conference on the topic New Ways of Working. It takes place on the 20th and 21st of November this year. And on Friday, there is a 3.5 hour intensive workshop about the topic, the future of work. And on Saturday, there is a online conference style event with over 20 sessions and 2 keynotes. So yeah, coming back to the question why you should attend Rethink Festival, well, let me phrase it like that. If you have a slight feeling that we should change something and rethink stuff, whatever it is, then Rethink Festival is actually the place for you. This year's edition is focusing on new ways of working, and I think work and working is such an important part in our lives. And this part will change and already changed in the last decade, but will change even more in the future. So the question on how we want to structure and how we want to work in the future and how work is done and where you want to put energy in your work is very crucial. And obviously, we cannot answer all the questions about that, but at least we're going to discuss important aspects about new ways of working, and this is exactly why Rethink Festival exists. So what you will learn, well, basically there are lots of learning opportunities. On Saturday, as I said, there are lots of sessions, and there is one specific track, a session track, only about teaching social technologies. We call these sessions introduction to ... So, for example, there are sessions called Introduction to Sociocracy 3.0 or Introduction to Holacracy, Introduction to Beta Codex, Introduction to Social Innovation Labs, and, for example, also Introduction to ENCODE. And so we call them Introduction to because it's actually a teaching lesson, kind of. So you learn the basics and fundamentals of these technologies, and all these concepts, these technologies are essential fragments of what I would describe as new ways of working. So lots of learning opportunity here. And I also want to highlight 2 keynotes. In the morning on Saturday, there is Rob Hopkins with the keynote called How to Imagine a Day in the Future. And for those who don't know Rob Hopkins, Rob Hopkins was one of the characters appearing in the movie Tomorrow. Probably you remember the movie Tomorrow, which was in cinema, I think about 4 or 5 years ago. So Rob Hopkins is the founder of the Transition Network and also of the transition town Totnes. Maybe you remember that scenes in Totnes in the UK where they kind of rethought how a community or how a village works. So Rob wrote many books, and the last book is called What If? And in his keynote, he will basically describe and present a day in the future where we actually made it. So I expect a very inspirational keynote, full of solutions and focusing on the solutions. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that session. And then the other keynote we have is by Brian Robertson. So Brian, Holacracy, and for those who don't know Holacracy, the introduction session of Holacracy. And quickly said, Holacracy is a new way how a company can be organized. Instead of a traditional hierarchy, Holacracy builds on circles and also sub-circles. And instead of job titles, Holacracy is focusing on flexible roles and adaptable accountabilities. And Brian is teaching, as he's the inventor of Holacracy, he's teaching Holacracy for over a decade. And in his keynote, he will share his reflections on the transformative power of self-management. That is the title. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this keynote. So you see already a lot of many things to learn. And unfortunately, I can't cover all the sessions. You will find all the sessions on rethinkfestival.org/agenda, I guess, and also /speakers if you're interested. But I want to highlight 2 other sessions here. And the first one is called Generation Z is About Purpose by Yannick Blattler. Yannick himself is a Gen Z, and he will share his perspectives on how the new generation sees work and what they expect from organizations. Very looking forward to that. And another session I want to highlight is called, sorry, I have my notes here, so I'm reading the titles. The Power of Shared Purpose and Committing to Inner Work by Luia Ritter. Well, when we talk about new ways of working, we often talk about the outer work. So basically all the structures and how we can change processes to make it more fluid. And for example, how we can become agile. But then on the other side, a lot of the change is actually starting inside you. So it's a very personal thing. And inner work is nothing else than the process of listening to yourself, be aware of what's happening inside you. And then start maybe thinking about your personal purpose, and then going back to outer work and have an impact, and hopefully positive impact to the world. I'm very much looking forward to Luia's talk. So now I talked about the learning opportunities you have, because we are talking about why should I attend Rethink Festival? So learning is a crucial part. There is lots of concepts out there. We will share them, you can learn them, and you can discuss them in many ways. And then there's a very important second aspect, which I called, or I'd like to summarize it as sense of community. When I'm saying sense of community, I don't know about you, but sometimes if I look out to the world and all this change happening, and it's happening so fast, and sometimes I feel a bit lonely, to be honest. So I have many questions and how to maneuver through all the changes and stuff, and all these reorganizations and new technologies and digitalization, and how can we operate and build teams, and et cetera, et cetera. So Rethink Festival wants to approach that, and we have actually 2 ways, or we thought about 2 ways how building or sense of community can happen. Well, first of all, on the digital platform we use on Saturday, there is a little app called Networking App, and it's very fun to use because if you click on it, then there is randomly a person coming up, another participant, and you will have like 3 minutes to talk to each other and to get to know each other and probably talk what their ideas are, what they are working on, or what they are thinking about. And then you can also exchange contacts if you like. So I had this in another conference I was part of, and it's really fun to use and a wonderful way to meet new people online. And then the second way we build a sense of community through Rethink Festival is we will host open space sessions. So an open space sessions is simply set a room without a speaker, but we will set a topic, and there will also be a facilitator who actually tries to engage people. So you can discuss whatever topic we will define and set for these open spaces. So in parallel to the sessions, there will always be a track with open spaces. So it's a perfect way to participate and also to, well, have a sense of community and share and discuss your ideas. So again, to summarize it, there are many learning opportunities and as well as network opportunities, as I said before. And I think if you're interested now, you can go on the website, rethinkfestival.org, and you can actually get your place to the festival. And there are many ways to join the festival. In terms of ticketing, there is also a free option, and we decided to do something like donation tickets. So if you feel that Rethink Festival is something good and will help you in your personal career and etc., so I invite you to pay a donation, 20, 40, 80 euros. Also, there is a way for organizations to support the festival. We call them supporting organizations, and you can send us the logos and we will put you to the silver sponsor section on the registration side, as well as on the reception when the festival happens on Saturday. Yeah, so let me quickly check if there is any question in the chat. No, there is not. So yeah, a quick announcement. There will be other tea talks. Tea talks is our warm-up events for Rethink Festival. So follow us on social media, Facebook. We have LinkedIn page. We have a YouTube channel. Subscribe there, and then you will see when we are back live again. So that's it for today. Have a nice day. Stay healthy and keep smiling. Bye.